This is the weirdest village I've ever seen, because here, absolutely no red things are allowed to appear. Even the newly grown red flower, it must be immediately pinched off and then buried in the soil to clean up. Otherwise, it will attract the terrible monster. It turns out that in this isolated village, there is a horrible legend circulating. The legend says that deep in the forest, there is a group of terrible monsters living in the forest. They love red, but hate yellow. Once something red appeared in the village, they will kill all the villagers. Therefore, the village chief and the elders made a pact with the monsters. One, nothing red can appear in the village. 2, no one from the village could go outside. 3, every year at the beginning of the year, raw meat must be cut and thrown into the woods. All alone, everyone kept the agreement. The village has also been quiet for many years. Soon this peace was broken by a fool. He was holding the unique red fruit of the deep forest. That very night, the villagers at home discovered a red monster had slipped into the village. He rushed to ring the alarm bell to warn everyone that the monster was coming. Hearing the beings, the villagers ran to their homes. In case of emergency, they each house under the house. They built a cellar. Nick, who was returning home, saw the children who were left alone, hurry to send them back home, and helped other villagers to close the windows and doors. But he himself was too late to run, almost found by the monster. Meanwhile, Anna was anxiously waiting for Nick, because he is blind, so he could only raise his hand to try to let Nick see. But instead of Nick waiting for the monster was about to pounce on Anna. At the critical moment, Nick arrived in time, pulled Anna into the basement to hide. Everyone huddled together and looked at the ground, prayed that the monster would leave soon, so we hid underground all night. The next morning, the monster finally left, but on the doors of every house were left with red marks. It was obvious that the monster would probably come back. The village chief hurriedly
Can I sample some of that American cheese? I've always been
for
curious.
reconciliation with the monster. But at night, something terrible happened again. Several boys said they saw the monster enter the village, although everyone was prepared. But on the way back, they were still shocked by the scene before them. A large number of poultry were skinned and died on the ground. Apparently, all this is the work of monsters. Late at night, because Nick was worried about Anna, has been sitting outside her house to guard, and it was this time alone together. It was this time alone that made two people in love reveal their hearts. Soon the news of their marriage spread through the village, and that's when Tom, a mentally ill man in the village, found Nick. Without saying a word, he stabbed Nick. It turned out that he had always had a crush on Anna, but he didn't know how to express it, so he wanted to use this method to prevent the two from being together. Anna soon found Nick, who was seriously injured. The village doctor said Nick was badly hurt. He had lost a lot of blood. He might die at any moment. Because the village was isolated from the rest of the world, there was no medicine to treat him. We can only pray for him in our hearts. In desperation, Anna made a life-threatening decision, is to break through the horrible woods, to go to the town outside and buy some medicine. Seeing that his daughter was determined to do so, as the village chief, her father agreed to his request. But before leaving, the father brought Anna to an abandoned hut.
Yes, Father.
Very best not to scream.
Father brought his blind daughter to an abandoned hut. He took his daughter's hand and walked slowly into the hut. He told her to take a few steps forward to touch something in front of her. The truth finally came out. It turns out that the monsters in the woods, the village chief and the elders, were all pretending to be monsters. The reason they did this, so that no one would leave the village. The father told his daughter to walk boldly through the woods. Before he left, he gave his daughter his ancestral gold watch. She could use it to buy medicine. The father was worried about Anna's blindness. He also arranged 2 assistants for her. In order not to reveal the secrets of the village, he gave his daughter a bag of magic stones. He told her to lie about it as a talisman. But as soon as she walked into the woods, one of them lost his nerve, turned around and ran back to the village. The other one didn't last very far either. After a heavy downpour, leaving the mute Anna behind and fleeing in a hurry, there was no way out. Anna had to take a wooden stick to guide the blind, but she didn't get very far before she accidentally fell into a big hole. Luckily, she grabbed a tree root on the side, climbed up with all her might. Then there was a strange hissing sound nearby. Anna was scared. She was so scared that she started to run around, and by mistake, she ran into a place full of red wild fruits. Red is a forbidden color. It is also the monster's favorite color. Soon the monster appeared in front of Anna. Anna rushed to hide behind a tree, but the monster had already found her. Anna rushed back the way she came, because there was a trap in front of her. She stood on the edge of the trap, opened her hands to attract the monster's attention, waiting for the monster to lunge at the moment. Anna successfully dodged. The monster fell into the trap. After finishing the monster, Anna continued to move.
Can I sample some of that American cheese?
But Tom, who has always had a crush on him. It turns out that when Tom was confined, he found the monster costume hidden under the floor, so he put it on himself. He came to the woods to stop Anna, but he ended up getting himself killed. Anna eventually made her way through the woods to the fence. Over the fence, she ran into a police officer on patrol. She found Anna's eyes were blind. The kind-hearted police officer decided to help her. She went to a nearby guard station. She sneaked some bottles of medicine when her boss wasn't looking.
Jay, what's the name?
어쩌제야.
In this way Anna managed to get the medicine and returned to the village without any problems. Nick also received effective treatment. Finally, after the village chief and the elders decided to classify Tom's death as the death of a monster. They continued to deceive the people of the village not to go out. Then why did they make up such a lie? It turns out that all the members of the village council are murderers. Once they go outside, they will be punished by the law for the safety of their children. That's why they made up such a horrible legend. Living in isolation.